Look at this! This is like my highest rated book for this round of Summerween so far. Hey, my name is Gabby. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the final Summerween vlog. If you're new here and you're like, what the heck is Summerween? I will have the announcement video linked down below. But Summerween is a spooky readathon that I host every single July, where basically the main goal is to bring the spooky vibes of Halloween into the summer. If you missed it earlier this week, I've posted 2 Summerween vlogs so far, and now this vlog is going to include the final 4 days of Summerween. So in this vlog, I'm going to be finishing out the week, reading all of the rest of the books on my TBR for Summerween. I'm also very excited for this vlog in particular because my friend Jan over from Jan Agaton is coming to visit me for these last 4 days of Summerween. And so at the start of this vlog, I'm going to be going down, driving to Seattle and picking her up from the airport. And for these next 4 days, we're going to be spending time together. We have a lot of plans to do some reading together for Summerween, of course. We're going to be hitting up some of my local favorite coffee shops and reading together, maybe going out to the lake and reading together if the weather is nice enough, and then also doing some book shopping together. There's going to be a lot included in this vlog and I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be so fun. But before we do jump into the vlog, I just wanted to take a second to thank today's video sponsor, which is Factor, because Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. They have a team of gourmet chefs who create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. So you can skip the overpriced takeout trap this summer because Factor is cheaper and way more delicious. I love that these restaurant quality meals are ready to eat in just 2 minutes. You throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes and you have the meal ready to go, which means that you have more time for you. Factor really takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success because you can skip the grocery store runs, you can skip all the prep work and the cooking fatigue. I don't know about you, but I get especially exhausted with like cooking in the summertime. Maybe it's because it's so hot outside, but I love not having to cook if I don't have to, but still getting that nutritious meal that I'm looking for. You can choose from a weekly menu of 35 different options, including calorie smart, keto, vegan and veggie, and protein plus. And when things get hectic in the summer, Factor is also very flexible with your schedule. You can pause or reschedule your deliveries at any time, and you can change your order up every week with plans from 4 up to 18 meals per week. I love the convenience of not having to cook and just having this ready within 2 minutes. It's so nice, and I'm always so impressed by how good the food is, and the flavor is always incredible. So you can head to factor75.com or click the link down below and use my code 50gabbyreads to get 50% off your first box from Factor plus free shipping. That's code 50gabbyreads at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. What an amazing deal. So thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring today's video. And now let's get into the Summerween vlog.
The girl in my plane row. If you're watching, it's nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, apparently Jan met somebody on the flight who like also watches my channel.
Yeah.
What?
And I was like, I'm visiting her. She's like, small world.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, so we are here for day 5 of Summerween together in the flesh.
Happy summer. I brought my Summerween shirt. I haven't tried it on yet. I got like the crop top. So
oh, cute.
I'm kind of nervous.
That's exciting.
And it's white, so like
the white one.
I feel like, I don't know.
That's perfect. I wanted to see that in person, so I'm excited.
Did I bring a bra?
The deep questions. We just came from the Seattle airport and we are in Mill Creek. We're gonna get breakfast and it should be delightful.
Yes, I'm starving.
On a date, kind of nervous. Kind of nervous, first date. Dude, this looks so good.
Biscuits and gravy. Look at that. Wow.
That looks nice. Okay, hello. It is almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We made it. We made it back to the house. Jan Agaton is in my room.
I'm where she sleeps.
This is where I sleep. This is crazy. But yeah, we had a really great afternoon so far. It was a good drive. We, you know, as you saw, we stopped and got breakfast and it was really delicious. It was great. I have been reading The Compound, which, you know, no, this was not on my original TBR for Summerween, but this morning I got the audiobook checked out from my library and I was like, you know, I recently just got this one in the mail and I've been seeing a lot of people reading this one recently, so it had me intrigued, even though my friend Brittany actually just recently read this and she wasn't the biggest fan. man. And this morning, just on the drive this morning, because, you know, the drive down to Seattle was about like a 2.5-hour drive with the traffic. So I got up to chapter 9 just this morning. I'm on page 144 of this already. Really liking the vibes of this one so far. I don't know. I have some mixed feelings because I think the concept is really cool. This one's about a reality show where like these people, they go on this reality show and it's 10 women and 10 men, and like the women wake up at this place called the compound, and then the men wake up in the desert and they have to like make their way to the compound, which is like very strange. And there's a lot of weird rules for this, you know, reality show that they're on. Every single night a man and a woman have to sleep in the same bed together, and if they don't, then they get booted off the show. If you wake up alone, then like you're toast, you're done. You know, there's a lot of competitions. Well, not even competitions. I guess I thought the competitions would be a little bit more like fleshed out or like explained, because like I'm used to watching shows like, you know, like Big Brother or like Survivor, where there's like high stakes, but it's really more like these people are getting offered money to like do certain things. So like some of it can seem actually kind of silly. Like they'll be like, eat some grass and get a reward or whatever. Or they'll be like, sing this song in tune with everybody else and like get an award, or like go skinny dipping. Like some of the things that they're getting assigned to do is kind of like silly in my opinion. Like it doesn't feel like the stakes are very high. But like now I'm almost 50% of the way through the book, and like now we're getting to the point where like some more interesting things are happening in the plot. I thought too, something that was really weird that they had to do right at the beginning is they had to all rate each other on a scale of like 1 to 10, with who they found the most attractive to the least attractive. And I was like, what is going on? Like that just seems so messy of them. But I know like some reality shows can just be like this, you know? So like maybe it's not that far-fetched, but also like I don't know if this is the kind of reality TV show that I would want to be watching. Like I don't know. We're gonna spend some time this afternoon reading now that we're home. I will let you know my thoughts once I'm done with it. Hi, checking in again because it's just after 5 o'clock at night and I just finished reading The Compound, and like what the heck was this book? Like I'm genuinely so confused. Like how am I supposed to feel about the ending of this? You know, I actually really liked the first half of this book. I thought it was really engaging. It was really fun to listen to on audio, and I was mostly just having like a fun, silly, goofy time. And then the second half of this book, I feel like things start to change because the situations start to get a little bit more dangerous that these characters are put into. And that's not even a spoiler, by the way, because it does talk about this in the premise about how like producers raise the stakes, forcing contestants into upsetting and even dangerous situations, and then the line between playing the game and reality starts to become a bit of a blur. As the game started to get a little bit more dangerous, I think I started losing interest because it starts to read a little bit more like a survival type of story, and like that kind of storyline just doesn't really interest me as much as the idea of like a fun reality game show kind of thing. I also think the characters in this book, they all felt a little bit like one note and like one dimensional. Maybe that's intentional, you know, because like one of the rules of this game is that they're not allowed to talk about their private lives. And like if they start to reveal something personal, the like voice will come on and it'll be like, you can't say that or whatever. So maybe that is intentional, that they're supposed to be kind of like one-dimensional characters. Like I don't really know, but I never really felt connected to any of these people. And then the ending of this book just really like fizzled out into like nothing. I don't know if there was some kind of like bigger message that I was supposed to take away from that ending, but if there was, it's definitely lost on me. I really feel like this has to be one of the most like anticlimactic endings that I've read in a long time. Like the story just really doesn't go anywhere. And like even those last 100 pages, like so often I would be thinking to myself, like, what is the point? Or like, what am I even reading about right now? And, like not in a fun way. Like I wasn't having as much fun in the second half of this book as I was with the first half of the book. I don't know, it was after part 3 where like things really started to shift for me in my enjoyment of the story. It just sucks because there were some things about this book, like the concepts I think were really cool and really fun. And I know that this book is a debut, so like I'm definitely excited to see what this author does next, because I do think her writing is very strong just in terms of like how engaged I felt while I was listening to this. And I also think her concepts are really interesting. I just think this book in particular, like the second half just really fell apart for me. So ratings wise, I don't know how I want to rate this. It's probably going to be like a 3-star, maybe like a 2.5. I guess it just depends on how long this book sticks with me, but I do think I'm probably going to be thinking about this book pretty often because it was very unique. I will say that. And I know people were saying that this book can be described as like Love Island meets like Lord of the Flies, which I don't know if that's an accurate comparison or not because I don't watch Love Island, so like I have no idea. And I do see the Lord of the Flies comparison, but like I don't know if I would really compare it to that myself. But I feel like I always end up feeling this way about like reality game show kind of books. Like I always want to love them because I do love reality TV. Like I watch a lot of reality TV. But I feel like I always feel this way about reality show books where I'm always like, it's fine, and like not my favorite. I know Jan is currently reading Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. We don't have too many crazy plans for the night. I think my sister Rachel is actually going to come over and visit with Jan tonight as well. We're probably going to try to figure out dinner soon, but otherwise it's her first night here, you know, so like we don't have any crazy plans for the evening. If anything, I might try to do some reading in the dark later tonight. I might try to read the new Junji Ito in the dark. I think that could be fun. It's got a tree.
Look at those Dexter abs. Sit.
Yeah, sit.
And she'll go down.
She knows sit. She wants to sit on the carpet though.
Down?
Good girl.
Oh,
yeah, you're so smart.
Girl.
Wow, my baby's a genius.
Aw, friends.
Yeah.
Besties.
Besties.
Oh, yes.
She's like, you got the treats? Yeah, we're friends.
She's so skeptical.
Do that as much as you want. She'll be your best.
Yeah, she'll be your bestie.
That's nice.
Wow, look at hers. Mongolian bee. Yeah. I mean, we will be reading in the dark, quote unquote. It's supposed to be ambiance and it's like a jump scare. Where is she? She's gonna fucking pop out of the trees. Oh my god, I'm on high alert.
She's gonna like come up from the bottom.
Oh my god. Dude, imagine her face just like pops up. I would scream.
She never comes back again and we're just standing here
Dude. There's no way. I'm like, I just put on some spooky ambiance and now I'm like scared.
Okay, this bitch is
Yeah,
gone.
she's
forever.
gone. I closed the windows to make, because it's still so
No, you
bright
didn't.
outside.
It's actually
Yeah,
dark.
it's actually dark in here for real. I turned on cozy fireplace in the room. Cute little fireplace. I also lit some spooky little candles, like this one that says, "Beware." The Junji Ito manga that I'm gonna read in the dark with my little nightlight. Reading in the dark, it's happening.
She didn't want to twin with me.
I know, I'm so sorry. Jan's wearing the Winterween shirt, so cute. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I have on old school Summerween, like throwback. Ooh, ooh. We're just having a great time in here, you know.
Show her snacks. Our snack
Yeah, we
pile.
have a snack pile of all the snacks that I collected from the office and brought in here. These are my favorite. White cheddar Cheetos. Ooh. Yeah, we've got good stuff. Read in the dark and hopefully this scary bitch doesn't pop up on my TV again. She was so scary. It's like a jump scare. Like, why would they do this? This is supposed to be ambiance.
This is not relaxing.
This is not relaxing. I'm on edge. Good morning and happy day 6 of Summerween. It's day 6, right? I think it's day 6. Anyway, last night ended up being so much fun because me and Jan, I decided to like close all the windows in my room kind of early, and I put this like really spooky ambiance on the TV that was actually kind of scary. And we decided to do some like reading in the dark because, you know, in Washington it doesn't get dark until almost 10 o'clock at night, and we were both so tired, so I was like, I'm not gonna wait until that late at night. So around 8 o'clock last night we shut all the windows, I lit some candles in here, we put on the spooky ambiance, and I read the entirety of Deserter by Junji Ito. And you know, Junji Ito is one of my favorite horror manga authors, and this one is a collection of short stories. I think there's like, I don't know, maybe 10 short stories in this collection, and I'm so bummed to let you know that I didn't really love this one that much. And it sucks because typically with Junji Ito, like some of my favorite stuff from this author are the short story collections. Like I really love his ideas for short stories, but unfortunately for this one, out of the like nearly 10 short stories, I only really liked 2 of them. I really liked the one where the Sandman lives, and then I did like the one that was called The Long Hair in the Attic. I thought those were really creepy, and those were definitely my favorites. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was some really creepy imagery and like creepy illustrations in some of the other ones towards the end, but I just didn't really care as much for them as I have for his other manga. I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion. I was talking about this one with Jan, and Jan said she didn't really like this one either. But when I look on Goodreads, like most of my friends gave this one like 4 or 5 stars. So I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. Like, I don't know. This one was just not my favorite from Junji Ito, so like that's unfortunate. I'm just starting to realize now though that for this Summerween so far, I haven't really given anything above a 4-star. And like that's starting to deeply concern me. Like, why am I not picking the right stuff? But anyway, I am glad that I finally finished reading this book and that I read it in the dark, because now this checks off 2 of the Summerween prompts that I had left. So the only 2 prompts that I had left was to read a book in the dark, which like check that off. I did that last night with this. And then also the last prompt, which is to like read a novella, a manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook, because this is a manga. So I can finally check off that prompt as well. So now, technically speaking, even though we're still only on day 6, I have completed all 5 of the prompts. So now basically I can read whatever I want. Like I can stray from my TBR a little bit if I want to. And you know, I just might do that because like I need to find a win here. Like I need to find a new 5-star favorite. Anyway, today I am very excited for all of our activities today, because me and Jan, we plan to go down to Bellingham today and do some book shopping together. We're also this morning, we're going to be going down to the Woods Coffee and meeting Rachel there and having like a nice little breakfast. But it might actually be a really nice day to go out and read by the water. So let's get day 6 started. Let's go. There's an extra tree service. That's your local verified. Food. Yeah. Oh wow, she's a beauty. Look who's here. We're all you guys have the same one. We almost have identical cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the same? Hers is like 1 step above mine.
I have to overcompensate because I'm not popular.
We came to hang, now we're gonna go to the bookstore and read at the park probably. Wow. Stay tuned! I'm in love with this cover. So pretty. I love like city. Like I'm obsessed with the city on cover. Looking like that. Oh, I've been hearing about this one. How to Survive a Horror Story? Washington vibes. We are here, made it to the park. We have this beautiful view out at the park today. Wow, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. We have gorgeous views for day 6 of Summerween. We do have our matching shirts on today, and we did get a comment about it.
We did.
We did at the bookstore. She was like, "Love the matching shirts."
Yeah. And I was like, "It's a readathon." Like they knew what we were.
And they were like, "I don't care." They were like, "Cool, loser." these fucking losers. But we're gonna read some books. Do you know what you're gonna read? You're gonna read the horror. She's gonna read the horror. Holy crap. Oh. She's got the nails too. Nails.
Oh, we gotta do a little book haul later.
I know, we did get a few books. Jan got a few books.
Jan got 4.
Jan got 4 books. I got 1 book. We'll show you what they are.
$8.
Yeah, we found them on the ARC shelf, so they were like cheap books, you know? It was great.
Donations, okay?
Yeah.
For everyone about to give Gabby shit
Yeah.
for buying ARCs.
Yeah, we didn't buy the ARCs. The bookstore sells them, and then you make a donation to the store to get the ARCs.
And there's like no tax or anything, so
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
no
an actual
tax.
donation.
It's an actual donation. Yeah, I think it's great. Personally, I think it's great because it like allows ARCs to be like circulated back, you know, into the community.
Instead of just like trash.
Yeah, instead of just like in the landfills, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. But we did find some stuff, and we were very excited about it. And now we're gonna read by the water, and it's gonna be great. I don't know what I want to read. I brought a few different things. I've been hearing a lot about this book, Whistle, but I'm also kind of scared to read this because I'm like, there's a fucking train, and I'm like, I just read With a Vengeance, and we didn't have the best time reading With a Vengeance, you know. So like, I'm just nervous about this one, but it looks cool. It's like Stephen King blurbed it on the front, and I've been hearing a lot about this one. I actually got recommended this book on booktube, and I had never heard of it before, so
Now you gotta see if it's terrific.
yeah. And I also got the audiobook checked out from my library at the same time, so I was like,
It's fate.
maybe the universe is telling me this needs to happen today, so I'm gonna start with this one. I think, give it a try.
It has airport author vibes.
I know.
Like,
I don't know if I love the cover. We'll see. I actually don't really know what this one's about. I forgot. So we're
okay,
gonna
what
do
are your
some
other
reading.
options?
I do have some other options. I brought some other options. I brought Girl in the Creek.
Oh, I
and
forgot
Dead
that was the
Silence.
cover.
I know. I do like that cover. And then I brought Dead of Summer and The Starving Saints as well. But
She is a machine.
we'll be doing some reading now.
Reading. Woo!
Got home from going out and we picked up some dinner, and now walked into the office and there are these two mysterious pink bags that my mom just like put these on here, and we're like, what is that?
Oh, wait, let me grab.
What is that? Ready? Same time. Same time. Oh, what is this?
Strawberry watermelon.
Strawberry watermelon. I've never tried this before. What is this?
Sour new. This is so cute.
Oh my god, yeah.
All the news. I love all the news.
Oh, peace, love, and summer.
Summerween.
These are actually so adorable, so perfect.
We just
Okay, hello. We are home from doing all of the things, and we unboxed our little pink bags. Mom gave us cute little drinks, and also this cute little drink holder. Peace, love, summer.
Gabby in the music video. I'm like,
Literally,
that's my go-to.
You stole my moves.
I laugh so hard because that's what I do too all the time. I'm
You
just
alright? It's
around
from
the
that-
house.
Like Princess Diaries.
Oh my god!
Right? Old school.
With the kicks.
I ended up finding an ARC copy of Meet Me at the Crossroads by Megan Giddings, which is like so freaking perfect because I was just talking about this book in my TBR video about how I wanted to include this book in that video idea that I had. So I was so excited to find this there. And then also, I have been reading Whistle by Linwood Barclay, and I'm now 126 pages in, and I'm actually really liking this one so far. I didn't realize what this book was going to be about because at first I thought, oh my god, like it's going to be another book about trains. Like I don't really want to read about trains. But then I realized it's not really like about a train, it's about a creepy children's toy that's a train. We're following this woman named Annie, and like right at the start of this book, her husband gets killed in this car accident, and then she has her son Charlie, and they're gonna move because there's just been a lot of things going wrong in their lives. So they're like, okay, we're gonna move to this little small town in upstate New York. And then when they do, they come across this like creepy train set that was, I guess, left from the previous owners or something like that. And the train is like kind of creepy, like they don't know, it's like bringing bad vibes. But then also there's like this other story going on because you kind of jump back and forth between the perspective of this woman Annie, and then there's this other guy named Harry who's like a chief of police character guy. He is in like a different timeline than they are, but you're hearing about people going missing in this small town, and like the people in this small town, they keep claiming that they're hearing this like whistle of a train and that they're hearing a train, but there are no trains. Like the train tracks are deserted, like no trains operate through that town. So like there's a little bit of mystery going on, and like I really am liking the writing in this a lot. I feel like it's a book that's really easy to get into right away, and it just has this like readability to it that I'm really liking. I also really am connecting with the character Annie. Like I really like her story. I do feel a lot of sympathy with her with like the situation with her husband, but then also it's kind of fun and unique because she's a children's book writer, and so she's like a really successful author doing what she does. Just really liking her story, and I'm feeling really connected to her character already. I also didn't realize when I started this book that it's quite a long book. It's like 450 pages. So there is quite a lot to get through, but we are about to start doing some reading sprints in the next like 5-ish minutes together on my Patreon, so it should be fun. Like I'm just planning to get through this one tonight. Jan started reading The Har.
Yes.
at Boulevard Park and she's enjoying it so far. She's also doing the audiobook, which the audiobook for the horror is like so great. I love her Scottish accent. It's so cute. Yeah, that was like a culture shock thing when I moved here. Was that everybody's like pop. They're like, "Yo, what's your favorite pop?" And I'm like, Taylor Swift. I go, what? What do you mean? And they're like, no, like to drink. And I was like so I was so like confused why everybody's like pop. I was like, what do you mean, like pop music? Like, what are we talking about? It's just water. Okay, hi, it is the end of the night on day 6 of Summerween. It's about 10:30 and me and Jan did reading sprints this afternoon. It was so much fun. We were live until almost like 9:30 at night and then I just like hit a wall. Like I got so tired, but I only had like 50 pages of my book left. So I ended up curling up in bed and finishing the last 50 pages right now. And I was gonna wait to update you till tomorrow morning because I feel like I'm really tired and I have like really low energy right now. But I felt like I had to update you about this because I think I'm gonna give this 4 stars and I actually had such a great time reading this book today and I'm so shocked that I was able to finish this whole book today because, you know, like I mentioned, it's about 450 pages. Like this was a long book. You know, something that I was mentioning earlier is that the story kind of jumps between 2 perspectives. So we get Annie's perspective and she's the one who's like the author and the mother, and then we also get the guy Harry's perspective and he's the one who's like the chief of police, and we kind of do jump back and forth in parts. So like part 1 of the book is Annie's perspective and then part 2 is Harry and then part 3 is Annie and then part 4 is Harry. So like we kind of go back and forth between these 2 perspectives and these 2 different timelines, and I will say I definitely preferred Annie's perspective. Like when we were reading from her perspective, I was like living, laughing, loving, having so much fun. And then when we would get to Harry's perspective, I just didn't like it as much because, you know, since he's like the chief of police, I feel like a lot of his chapters did kind of read like, you know, police procedural, and usually that kind of like tends to bore me a little bit. So like there were some sections in his parts where I would like skim a little bit because I just didn't really care as much about what was happening in his parts. But for the most part, I really enjoyed this book and like I loved where the story ended up going. I thought it was so unique and so creepy and weird. Like this is exactly the kind of horror that I enjoy, where like there is feelings involved because you're like, oh my god, like this family, like you feel really connected to, you know, this woman Annie and her son. And this definitely falls into the category of like the kind of horror that's like creepy children's toys, that like it might be something, you know, creepy, more paranormal going on, like there's something creepy happening with the train, but then it also has to do with like the whole town, you know, it's like people in the town are like hearing whistling of a train and they're like, there's no train, like how do we explain this? Some kind of creepy phenomenon that seems to be happening to the entire town. Like I love that kind of shit in my horror books, and I feel like this one was especially unique because I don't think I've really read horror like this that kind of revolves around trains. I've really never read something quite like this, so I really liked how unique and like different and fresh this felt for me to be reading. There were also some really shocking moments for me in the plot with this book of like things that I did not see coming, that I was like, oh, what? Like that's where we were going with this? Or like there was little twisty moments that just surprised me. I think the only reason why this one wasn't a 5-star for me is because I do think it's a little bit wordy at times, and like I don't think this book needed to be as long as it was, especially because since I wasn't enjoying Harry's, you know, sections of the book as much, I feel like it definitely slowed it down, and like it had me skimming some of those chapters and I was just a little bit bored with his perspective. But I was so impressed with Annie's parts of the book. Like if I could just rate just Annie's sections, those would be 5 stars for me. Like I had so much fun reading those. This definitely did remind me of like old school Stephen King, and it's like, I know, I'm like saying that about almost every male horror author, but I feel like with this one, it's also very valid. Like this felt like old school nostalgic Stephen King kind of vibes. This one also, for some reason, it kind of did remind me of the book Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky, and maybe it's just because of like the little boy that you're following at times, because at times we do get not only Annie's perspective, but we do get her son Charlie's kind of point of view sometimes. And I guess getting that point of view, it did remind me of Imaginary Friend as well. I'm so surprised with this book, and I just wanted to update you now because this is like my highest rated book for this round of Summerween so far, which is kind of sad because it's still only a 4-star, but like I really liked this one, and I'm so glad that I finally read a book today that I really enjoyed. And tomorrow is day 7 of Summerween, which typically would be the final day, but you know, this year we're doing 8 days for like the first time ever, so we're extending it into the next Saturday. Jan actually said that she would really like to go and try the acai bowls that I usually get from Robex in Bellingham, so tomorrow we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to Robex and we're gonna get some acai bowls in the morning, and then if the weather isn't too crazy hot tomorrow, I think we're gonna go to a lake in Bellingham that's like one of my favorite lakes.
Best Gabby one. And she's got her medallion. I love her. Oh, yes. So cute. Love it. Stylish.
We made it to the lake, and it's so beautiful. Lake Padded, Bellingham.
A professional.
Out here by the lake. Hopefully it's not too windy with this update because I am, you know, sitting right by the water. But I wanted to update you because I have started reading Girl in the Creek by Wendy Wagner, and I just hit page 102. This audiobook is absolutely flying because the audiobook is only about like 7.5 hours long, so I am flying through this one on audio. And so far, I'm really loving the vibes of this one because all I knew about this book was that it was an eco horror, and we're following this girl named Erin, and she's going back to the Pacific Northwest, specifically in Oregon, because her brother has been missing for the last 5 years. And he was actually on this like hiking trail in Oregon when he went missing, and he's not the first to go missing. Like there's actually a lot of people in the area that seem to be going missing. So she's going specifically to this forest because she's trying to learn more about the area and like what could have actually happened to her brother. And while she's in Oregon, she meets a lot of the locals there, and she starts to make friends with some of the locals, and she tells them that she's like writing for this magazine about like travel in Oregon. So she's trying to like learn more about the town. And what I really like about this book and what I find to be strange is that right at the start of this book, the first chapter, you're reading kind of like from the perspective of this coyote, which I thought was like a really cool choice because the coyote discovers that there's this body in the water, and like there's this girl, like her body is like floating in the creek that's like in their town. And so the first chapter is like from the perspective of the coyote, like finding the body. And then what I really like is that in between the chapters of Erin, we get these like really strange, ominous chapters that are almost like from the perspective of the creek, if that makes sense. I don't know, their narration style is like very strange. I don't think I've ever read anything quite like this. So I am really liking the style of the writing. Those chapters have to be my favorite, like the chapters that are from the perspective of like the creek itself, kind of. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, like how it is, but it's really interesting. And I do like Erin as a character, and I do feel a lot of sympathy for her, you know, with the situation with her brother. So it's going very well. I mean, by the next time I update you, I might be done with it because it's such a short book. Today we ended up going to Robex, you know, we got some acai bowls and they were so good and it was so much fun. And then now we've been at the lake for a little over an hour now, just doing some reading. I think we're going to plan to get some coffee next. I think we're gonna go and try to get some coffee somewhere, and then later today we're gonna be meeting my parents at Texas Roadhouse for dinner, so that should be really nice. I also think at some point today we want to do some baking because that's like one of the only things on the bingo board that I haven't accomplished yet, is baking something. But yeah, anyway, it's a beautiful day on the water. Look at how stunning it is out here. Like, oh my god, I just love this place. I love it so much. I haven't been to this lake since last year, like since last summer, so it feels so good to be back out here.
whisk. I'm a good whisker.
Oh, you'll do all the whisking then.
Snickerdoodles.
Oh.
You will need
let's
one
see.
egg.
I will need egg.
And 1 stick of butter. Damn, a whole stick?
We're both recording.
Hey. Okay, cool. And then
Not us not I didn't wash my
we'll live probably.
Probably. These aren't really spooky, but we're spooky. So
Yeah.
we make the cookies spooky.
Make it spooky.
Good thing.
Like, is that good?
Why is there a hole
probably?
in it?
I don't know. It doesn't say water. Like, I'm
It's
confused.
like I said, you have to work it even maybe just with your fingers to bring it together.
Like, is this gonna get... is this gonna turn into, like... How is this wrong? I followed the box. I did everything right.
Oh no, the oven's ready and we're not.
Gotta get in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so sticky.
Yum.
Yum.
Just all of Gabby's hand germs.
Yeah. You really want to eat it now, I know. Looking
Oh
more
yeah,
like
it's
dough.
it's looking cookie-ish.
More like dough now.
Or baking with hands.
Baking with Dan, future channel name.
Sorry, don't worry, nothing's gonna change.
The spin-off channel.
It's still gonna be books.
It's like so lopsided. Alright, look at our masterpiece. We did this ourselves with our hands.
Can you tell?
Can you
Clearly
tell?
it's a perfect circle.
Oh my god, how did that one get so messed up? I was making mine too big, and then Jan was making hers very small, and now they're all very uneven, so they'll probably cook very oddly, but you know,
snowflakes.
we tried.
They're unique.
It's alright. Yeah, we'll have to see how they turn out.
Why are they so bumpy?
I know, like, I swear I rolled them into circular things. Wow, we did it.
Looking good.
We did it.
Summer
They're-
weenies.
Yeah, they got very flat and larger, but we did it. Yay. Hopefully they're good. We'll do a taste test.
It looks like a butt.
Yeah, this is a butt. Monetize. Oh. Look at this little snickerdoodle. It turned out so cute.
Oh, that was a
Cheers.
stupid-
Cheers. Cheers. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. We did that. We baked.
We
We checked
did.
off another thing on the bingo board. Let's go. Even though they're not exactly fall, I would say snickerdoodles are pretty fall. I think.
I think so
I
too.
think they are. I would count this.
Cinnamon's pretty fall-y.
Yeah, cinnamon is pretty fall. Cookies, like, why not? You know?
Yeah, if we had whipped cream, we could have like made a ghost.
Oh. You know, I should have thought in advance. Yeah.
Oh well, we can pretend.
Yeah.
We're
Cute.
spooky enough.
Yeah, we are the spooky. The cookie is just the treat. Oh my gosh. There he is. Moo. Yeah, night 2, reading the dark. Reading the dark, part 2. Jan's gonna be reading
Parasite.
Parasite.
Just like
Yeah, Parasite manga. Oh my god, my camera's fell. I'm gonna be finishing Girl in the Creek. I have like less than 100 pages left. So, oh, that is so creepy. You were not lying. With our creepy ambiance. That's actually really creepy. Jan is laughing her ass off.
5 stars.
You're like 10 pages in, you're like 5 stars.
Oh my god. It's just doing something. I was not expecting that. He's just laying in bed. I'm sweating. I'm drooling. I'm crying. Oh my god, dude. That is so funny. It's just reading a book. It's just reading a fucking book.
You're truly living, laughing life. This is how I try to be. I'm so glad you read this book.
Holy shit. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. Best summer weed ever.
Yeah, best Summerween ever.
Private rights.
We love Allie in this house.
Hello, I wanted to update. It is so much later in the night. It's like 11 o'clock at night. Me and Jan had such a fun night together. We watched Allie's most recent vlog from All I Do Is Read. Dude, if you're not subscribed to Allie, like, you need to subscribe to Allie. Like, she is the biggest joy. Like, me and Jan were like laughing out loud, just like having the best time watching Allie's new video. I just adore that girl so much. So if you're not subscribed to Allie, then you need to check her out. I'll have her link down below. But anyway, I was able to finish reading A Girl in the Creek, and unfortunately, I didn't love this one as much as I did at the start of this book. Because at the start of this, I was like, you know, this is feeling like a very promising, like 4-star book. Like, I was really enjoying it, but I definitely didn't love this book as much in the second half, and I feel like it's for a few different reasons. I do think the writing style in this book is really good. Like, this book is a really well-written book, and I really liked the atmosphere in this book. Like, not only the Pacific Northwest atmosphere, which is something that I do typically love in books, but also like the dark, like murkiness of like this creek, and it's almost like I could feel the dampness in the air. You know, like the atmosphere is done very well, but I feel like where this book suffers for me is that there are just so many characters. You know, this main character, Erin, she's like going around and meeting so many of the locals, and like there were just way too many characters for me to get invested or to care about any of them. I also think some of the second half of this book, like there were some scenes that were written and I'd have to be like, wait, what did I just read? And I'd have to kind of like reread the paragraph, and I still couldn't really like understand or visualize what I was supposed to be visualizing. Like, I don't know. It got a little bit confusing to me at times, and it was kind of hard to follow like what was happening. But like some of the horror in this book was written so well. Like, it was so well done. Like some of the body stuff and like the mushroom stuff specifically, like, ew, so creepy. Some of the body horror was done so well. But I just feel like I really lost interest in the plot in the second half of this book. Like, I see what the author was trying to do, but I just didn't really care for like the direction of the plot, and it all started to feel a little bit predictable to me. This one actually reminded me quite a bit of a few books that I've recently read, like the book They Bloom at Night, and then also Eat the Ones You Love. I think it reminded me of They Bloom at Night just because of the talk about like the algae in that book kind of felt similar to this one, and then Eat the Ones You Love because that one's kind of like narrated by a plant, and this one kind of did have a similar thing where like it was almost like you were reading from the perspective of the creek itself. And like I loved the uniqueness of that in this book. Like that's definitely like the biggest positive that I can say about this one, that it was so cool. I loved getting the perspective of the creek. Like those chapters were so eerie and so weird, but I think this one's only gonna end up being a 3-star for me because even though I did enjoy a lot of things about it, I just felt really let down by the second half of this book, and I was really bored and like ready for things to wrap up, even though this one's short. You know, it's only 260 pages. I had so much fun with Jan today. Like, oh my god, there were multiple times where we were laughing till we were crying, and she's already leaving tomorrow morning, and tomorrow's the last day of Summerween. I don't really know if I have too many reading plans tomorrow because I'm gonna be doing a lot of driving tomorrow. You know, like I'm driving her back to the airport in Seattle. That's probably gonna be around a 2.5-hour drive, and then I'm gonna be driving home from the airport in Seattle, which is like a 2.5-hour drive back. Let's do it tomorrow for the final day of Summerween.
Ooh, Hoffergy muffins and a ham croissant. So excited. It's your last morning. Sad. I panicked. Last day, last morning. It's been sad, but we got some nice looking food. So at least there's that. My buddy Jan. I miss you already, my buddy Jan. It is day 8 of Summerween. It's the final day. I just got back home from dropping off Jan at the airport in Seattle. We left a little bit early this morning because we wanted to stop by this little bakery in the town, and I wanted her to try these Poffergy muffins, which were so good. And so that was amazing to do that this morning. We also stopped by my local bookstore together for one last little peruse around the bookstore. And then I took her back to the airport, and you know, like I said, the airport is about 2.5 hours away. And like, oh my god, there was so much traffic in Seattle today, especially on the way home. Like, dude, I'm so exhausted. It was like about 5.5 hours of driving today. And like now I'm like at that phase where like when I sit down, I still feel like I'm like in motion because of how long I was sitting in that car. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad that my friend Jan decided to come visit me, especially during Summerween. It was so much fun. Me and Jan just have such similar personalities and similar energy, so we get along really well. And as you might have guessed, I didn't end up reading anything on the way home. I actually was listening to a spooky little podcast. I've been really loving that podcast lately that's called Ghost Teas. That one is just really fun for me to listen to. So instead of listening to another audiobook, I just decided to listen to that podcast on the way home. But I wanted to wrap up the Summerween vlog because, oh my god, I was able to read 9 books during Summerween. I feel like for this year, this might be the most books I've ever been able to read during a Summerween. Maybe it's because we did stretch it for the final day, but like I'm not reading anything today on this 8th final day. You'll have to let me know what you think about doing Summerween being like 8 days long. Like, did you like the extra 8th day? Or do you think we should scrap it and only do the week-long like 7-day thing next year? Because I'm thinking that's probably gonna be what we'll do. Like, we'll probably try to keep these readathons to a week moving forward because I feel like that's plenty. Here is a look at everything that I read this week for Summerween. I was able to check off every single prompt on the 5 prompts that we had. I did end up having 2 DNFs this week because I DNF'd Overgrowth and I DNF'd that romance book called Morbidly Yours. But everything else in this stack is a book that I read and finished, and like some of these books were fucking long, dude. Some of these books were either nearly 500 pages or over 500 pages. Some of the shorter stuff that I read this week was Summer of the Monsters and Girl in the Creek. I also got around to another Junji Ito manga with Deserter. I also read Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies. I read The Compound. I read Whistle, which this probably ended up being my favorite thing that I read for this year of Summerween. I also read With a Vengeance by Riley Sager, as well as Lost Man's Lane by Scott Carson, and this one was over 500 pages. Like, that's actually crazy. I also read Night Watcher, but that was one that I listened to on audio, so I don't have the copy with me. But like, wow, what an amazing Summerween it has been. Also, look at how cute from my local bookstore today. I picked up this cute little mug that says the future is indie. Isn't this so cute? This is like my ideal perfect size mug for like when I drink tea. Yeah, oh my god, what an amazing week of Summerween. I'm going to be making a playlist for all the different Summerween vlogs and like Summerween content that I've been seeing. So if you vlogged for Summerween, you can let me know in the comments if you made a Summerween vlog and I can add it to the playlist. And if you're interested in watching that playlist, I will have it linked down below so that you can watch other creators making fun Summerween vlogs because it's so fun. I really love this time of year because I feel like so many awesome people are making Summerween content, and I always feel like it's around this time of year that I tend to discover a lot of new creators because of the Summerween vlogs. I just love the way that this readathon seems to really bring the community together in a way that I find so beautiful and so much fun. I was looking at our bingo board because I wanted to see if I was able to get a blackout bingo, and unfortunately I wasn't able to hit everything because I was able to listen to a Halloween playlist. I found this cool playlist on Spotify that I was really obsessed with this week. I did read a book in the dark, and I actually did read a book that takes place in the desert because like, whoa, turns out The Compound kind of takes place in the desert. So like this one actually did knock out that prompt. I don't know if I would count watching a scary movie. I mean, I watched The Gorge with my mom. Like, does that count as a scary movie? I don't know. My mom definitely thought so. Like, she thought it was really scary. I did read a thriller horror book. I read a book outside. I read By the Lake a few times. Oh shit, read a book with 6 words in the title. Oh no. Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies. That's like 8 words. Yeah, okay, I definitely missed that prompt on the bingo board. But then I did bake a fall-inspired treat, kind of. I mean, I made the snickerdoodles. And then read a book with a night sky on the cover. I mean, I definitely have a few options for that one. So I only missed 2 on the bingo board, which like I am okay with, even though I didn't end up like loving anything. Like, it's unfortunate that I read 9 books, but I only gave 1 book 4 stars, and then everything else I rated like 3.5 or lower. So thank you so much for watching another Summerween vlog. Thank you to my friend Jan for visiting me and for being so amazing and kind. Thank you so much for watching any of my Summerween vlogs. I appreciate you so much. And again, if you'd like to go and support and watch any other creators that participated in Summerween, I will have all of those videos linked down below so the fun can continue. I swear there's so many Summerween vlogs that I need to get caught up on because there have been so many people vlogging it and it makes my heart so happy. Well, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being excited about Summerween every year. It means the world to me. I will be doing another round of Winterween that's probably going to be happening in January. So if this was your first time doing Summerween, then you do have that to look forward to, and I'm very excited for Winterween early next year. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!